So many times has this happened. You're sculpted for days, your model's all ready to bring into your favourite slicer, you know how big you want it, how you're going to paint it, and can't wait to marvel at the finished product on display. So you open your slicer, bring in your model, and this has happened. It's tiny. It's about the size of a rolled up booger that's been flicked into the corner, and you don't know why. Because you set your model to be a certain size in ZBrush. You know exactly how big you wanted it to be. You scaled it, you exported it, and now you have to try and scale it in here. Such a pain. So I'm going to show you a foolproof workflow that works for me 100% of the time, that will make your models come into your slicer at your perfect desired scale and your perfect rotation every time without fail. So let's jump into ZBrush and check out these simple steps. Right, so here we are in ZBrush, and for this quick tip we're going to be using the demo soldier because he's nice, low poly, and that will allow us to move over everything, all the subtools, without having to decimate them. Now the first thing you want to do is open up the panel on the left, go up to your plugins, drag them over and dock them on the side there, and as you can see I already have Scale Master open. So the first thing I click on when I open Scale Master is create bounding box. Now this makes a great proxy to check scale, and I just pop it to the top of my subtool list. And if we go transparent, you can see that encompasses the model exactly. And this is great to quickly check the size of your model. Now if I go to move and drag out my transpose line from the bottom to the top, I can see precisely how tall my model is. And if we look up here, we can see that he is only about 7.8 millimeters tall, which is tiny. So we want a display model, and 7 millimeters is way too small for that. You wouldn't see anything. I want to bump this up to about 150 millimeters tall, depending on what you're really going for. So this is what we're going to do. First thing is set the scene scale. So click the button and select the millimeters option. Your height will be the middle value, as we can see here where it says 7.8 millimeters. So the next thing we want to do is make sure all the other scales on the other axes are in the correct size in relation to our height. So click this button, slide us to subtool size, and see the values changes. Now we change our Y value to the height we want, which is 100 millimeters, and click resize subtools. Sit back and watch the magic. As you can see, ZBrush went through and automatically resized everything to our desired scale. So if we take our transpose line again and we measure again from the bottom to the top, we can now see that our model is 100 millimeters, just like we wanted. So what I would do after this is, previously I would export the model from here. I'd just go up, export, and would be done. And then I'd yell at my computer, because when I brought it into my slicer it was still tiny, or it was huge, the other way around, and it was never the right rotation. And it's because I'd missed 2 valuable steps that I didn't know about, which I've recently learned over watching hours and hours of YouTube videos. So these are them. Right, so the first thing we need to do is sort the orientation. It's a little bit different in each slicer, but I've found for Box, if I face him down towards the Z axis, he'll come out standing upright. So basically grab your model, get your gizmo, we'll change it from the transpose line to the gizmo, select all your subtools with this little button and just tilt them downwards 90 degrees, just like this. Uncheck that all, and then just bring him up so he's facing you again, and that should sort your orientation. Right, so the final thing we need to do is set our export scale, because it's changed. So go up to 3D Print Hub, click on the set export scale, and you'll see now that the height is the furthest value. So just click on that, sets everything for you, and you are now ready to export the STL. So click on the button, export her out. It's really simple. You can do a naming conventions, or you can just automatically set it when it gives you the option, like this option number 2, which is what I always choose. It'll add all the names from the subtools to the STL. Click on that, you're ready to go, and we'll jump back into Box and see how it turned out. Alright, we'll see you back over there in a second. Right, so here we are back in Box. So let's open up our demo soldier, our export. So we'll just open her up, select all the different subtools that were exported automatically, and there we have it. And we've got our bounding box as well, which I always export for a reference, and we'll just check the scale on this, and 99.99, kind of perfect. 100mm tall, exactly how we wanted it. The orientation's all up the way we wanted it, and we're all ready to go. Set it all up how we want to set it up, put in your supports and print that baby out. So there we go. I hope you really enjoyed the video. I'm thinking about doing a bunch more of these quick little short kind of tutorials, tips and tricks and stuff for 3D printing. Just really enjoying it. I've got another one coming out in the next few days, which is on slicing and putting registration keys in that in the model, or my way of doing it, which makes them fit really flush together with very, very little cleanup work needed. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment. I'd love to hear your input, and if you're not, think about subscribing. It'd be amazing. I've also just launched a store on Gumroad and on Thangs for my STLs, which will be available, and I've got a video coming out about all that and what's going on with it, with my memberships and with just buying them individually. So keep an eye out for that one. It's just been fun. I'm getting really into doing more videos and that, and just really enjoying doing my modeling again, and especially printing them out. So have a great day. Get out there. I hope this helps, and do some printing. Catch us later.